There's no question what makes a Souls game great, and that is the insane build variety offered to the player. However, the high skill ceiling of the Souls genre may be off-putting to the more casual player, making them miss out on the ability to create some fun and unique builds. Luckily, there are RPGs available that don't fall into the Souls-like genre and still offer diverse build creation. The best part about creating a character build in RPGs is that you feel like you genuinely created something unique to your playthrough. Getting overpowered after thorough experimentation with skills, weapons, spells, etc. is extremely rewarding and satisfying, and it's rare when a game incites this feeling so well. That's where this list comes in, as it discusses the best non-Souls RPGs that offer incredible build variety. These RPGs bring just as many, if not more, options when it comes to creating a build that you'll forget you're not playing a Souls-like. Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for around 3 years, and even though that sounds like a very long time, it was for its benefit. When the game finally went to version 1.0, it took the world by storm due to its complex RPG systems that not only allow for an incredible amount of choices in its story, but also an incredible amount of build variety. With over 600 spells, 12 classes to choose from, and nearly 300 weapons, the combinations are actually endless. Due to the infinite possibilities for a build in Baldur's Gate 3, players can replay this adventure time and time again and not have one playthrough that is similar to the others. On one playthrough, you could be a blood knife assassin, and another could be completely different by utilizing its diverse magic system. Just writing about this game now makes me want to hop back into this media adventure and try a build I have never done before, because, damn well, there are options. There was one big question surrounding Sandfall Interactive's debut game. Is it going to be any good? Well, the answer was more than just a simple yes, as Clair Obscur Expedition 33 turned out to be one of the best turn-based RPGs in more than a decade. Not only does it have a fantastic story, but it also includes some of the best build variety that any RPG fan could ask for. The way Clair Obscur Expedition 33 handles build variety is unique compared to others on this list, as it isn't just about equipping different weapons and spells. Instead, Clair Obscur's incredible build variety stems from its Lumina system. Each Lumina offers a unique perk that increases the potential of characters, such as dealing additional damage, gaining an extra turn, earning a buff by completing certain actions, and much more. Since there's an insane number of Luminas, players have the opportunity to create a build of their own. One of the most beloved entries into the Final Fantasy franchise is Final Fantasy Tactics, and for good reason. Its unique job system, where players can take skills from one job and place them on another, while still keeping the default abilities of the original job, allows for a ton of mix and matching. Each class, of which there are 38 in total, has many unique abilities that you could draw from to create something of your own. Want your knight to also use black magic? That's possible. Or maybe you want your cleric to use mind control abilities to make enemies attack each other. That is an option. As you can see, Final Fantasy Tactics is an entry that will always be remembered for its creative job system that pushes you to experiment. With the remake recently released, the Ivillus Chronicles, now is the best time to hop in and start creating some incredible, overpowered builds. Hades put the term roguelike into a chokehold when it released in 2021, becoming an instant classic for fans and bringing new ideas to the genre. Now that the sequel has been released, Hades 2, more gamers are beginning to realize why the original was so popular to begin with. While the core gameplay is super addicting, Hades 2 stands out when you take a look at its build variety. Out of all roguelikes, nothing comes close to Supergiant Games' magnum opus. Players will spend their time collecting arcana cards for passive buffs, keepsakes that act as a sort of talisman, and boons that players acquire throughout a run to fine-tune their build. In addition to all that, Hades 2 features 6 unique weapons that add a different feel to each run and have their own strengths and weaknesses.
Hades 2 is one of the best roguelikes simply because each run feels unique and you feel like you're constantly switching up builds and progressing.
All the games in the Tales of series do something right, but Tales of Arise excels in the builds department. Through the use of arts, skills, and titles, players have the opportunity to fine-tune their combat style to their liking. While each character specializes in a certain field, the game gives players tons of options to experiment within those fields to make those characters feel unique to their playthrough. Whether you want to focus on the defensive or offensive, there's a way to make it happen. In addition to focusing on skills, Tales of Arise also offers a diverse number of accessories that open up even more doors for build customization. Since no build is created equal in this game, players are encouraged to experiment with all the tools handed to them to continuously find the best combination that leads to the highest damage output and survivability. The best part about this Tales game is that team synergy is crucial. So not only are you making builds for each character, but you are also creating a party build per se. While all Monster Hunter games offer the player tons of build variety, I want to specifically point out Monster Hunter Wilds, since it arguably has the most compared to other games in the series. Rise and World are a close second. Not only did Wilds add highly customizable RTN weapons, but it also allows players to have 2 different weapons equipped at a time, making it possible to change on the fly. In addition to the change in weapons, Monster Hunter Wilds brings all the build customization options found in other entries of the franchise. There are talismans to equip, the ability to add elements to weapons, armor sets that have their own unique butts, and more. All of these, combined with the ability to have 2 weapons, allow for some diverse build options for any type of player. Plus, since the game is multiplayer focused, it's fun to discuss builds with one another. Diablo has always been a hit or miss among its fan base in terms of content available, but there's no denying that the franchise offers some great build variety for its players. Take Diablo 4, for example, where each class has a significant amount of potential when it comes to how you create them due to the number of skills available for each. For real, the skill tree is incredibly large and diverse. Not only that, but since the game is loot-based, you are constantly earning items to help change your build. Skills mixed with the loot system, which includes an endless amount of weapons and gear, add a certain amount of replayability that is rare these days. One playthrough may include a focus on brute force, while another could be strictly range speed, where all you do is use projectile magic. The choice is really yours.
When people think of an RPG, they almost always think of The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, no matter how long ago it came out. The reason for that is due to the amount of choice the game gives you and the amount of build variety available, which was not as common for its time as it is today. Players have many options to choose from, such as a melee focus, an alchemy build, or one strictly focused on signs. Even better, the game allows players to create a build that takes a bit of each of those mentioned, allowing you to take a balanced approach. It's possible to create overpowered builds too, which adds a layer of experimentation as you try your hardest to become as strong as possible. It's this kind of build variety that is extremely fun in RPGs and a great reason to revisit the game for a new Game Plus run.
Cyberpunk 2077 is no joke when it comes to build variety, as its RPG systems are so in-depth that they allow for a build for any type of player. Whether you want to go full stealth mode through silenced weapons and quiet takedowns, or cause a scene through explosive gunplay, there is a build for you. There are even builds that focus on hacking the surrounding environment to help get an advantage in combat. As most players know, Cyberpunk 2077 had a rough launch, releasing with tons of graphical errors and bugs. However, CD Projekt Red worked diligently behind the scenes to fix their mistakes, creating one of the best RPGs of our time that truly cares about player agency. For the most part, if you have an idea for a build, you can create it in this futuristic world, adding tons of replay value to the game